What guitar do you play now?
Oh gosh, I have a whole bunch of guitars. They built a Schecter prototype guitar for me. I play that quite a lot, and I also have some Gibsons that I play. And mostly it's the Schecter that I use now.
Did you keep anything from these?
No, and I sometimes cry myself to sleep because I've had 59 Les Pauls. Those guitars at one point had gotten to be around $500,000 each. Now I had about 6 of those, which I ended up either trading or, pawning or something to get drugs back. We didn't mention our drug. That was an aspect of our life. It was a short period of time, but it kind of forms your perspective. You look at things through a different set of eyes, and having gone through that and actually survived, I'm proud of that. Again, another accomplishment. And it's been 40 plus years that I have not been involved in that type of activity, so I consider that fortunate, but I'm proud of that.
A lot of the names we were talking about weren't as fortunate.
And that's so sad because they were dear friends, and Janice and Morrison and Jimmy, they were good friends, and it was so sad. And I mentioned Henry Vestine many times, and it happened with him. So many people from back during that time were just not fortunate enough to, outgrow it.
It was such a volatile time period.
Yeah.
So I can't blame anyone for
wanting to. No, neither do I, because anything to escape the madness.
One of the most touching things for me is I watched a little interview with you, and you talked about the first time you held a guitar. And that feeling that you had.
Well, there was a show and tell in elementary school, and there was this kid named Danny Oken, and he was called to the nurse's office, and he had brought a Harmony Sovereign guitar for his show and tell, and he asked if I would hold it and watch it until he got back. And so, of course, I did, and I started strumming the thing, and it just was magic. The first moment I held it, the vibrations just there was a feeling of electricity, as it kind of wafted through my body, and I just fell in love with it immediately, and it's been an ongoing love affair.
Yeah. So that was elementary school. When did you first start taking it serious? Like, when did you pick up your first guitar?
Well, probably a few weeks later, I'd asked my father if he would get a guitar. Being a kid, my dad said no. He wants something new every other day, so he didn't. But then later on, I started trying to build one. I had a cigar box and stuff, trying to make my own, because I'd heard about old blues players who would make their own. And he saw that I was serious, and so he came home with a pawn shop guitar, Stella, and it was about an $8 guitar, and he gave me that, and he said, if you stick with it, I'll buy you a better one. And he was true to his word. Back during that time, there were these salesmen. They were for music schools, and they would go door to door, and they would try to sign kids up. And he signed me up, and it was, back then, $300 was a fortune. I got, I think, 20 lessons, and I got a Guild 3/4 size guitar, and that was $300 that my parents wanted to look for. I was locked in at that point. There was no way I was going to just not play, and so I've played it since.